Hey guys, Creator Mom. So I was just here making my coffee and I had a thought that I wanted to share. Um, you know, I think for me and maybe for others that a reason holding us back from being rich or being wealthy internally, like receiving that thought and truly receiving that internally for ourselves, is the fact that we see that other people don't have it. Like we see that poverty. I do this with poverty because poverty is it's an idea, um, but the truth is or is supposed to be that we all contain that seed of faith within us to create something different, and it's supposed to work regardless of what it looks like. That is supposed to be overcoming faith. So, okay, so we all have the ability to create, we all have the ability to believe, right? All of us human beings have the ability to believe, no matter if you can't talk, if you can't walk, no matter if you live in a garbage dump, you know, you have a heart, you have that energy, you have God, you are God, and you have the ability to believe and receive. It's supposed to be for everyone to do it. So easy, a kid can do it, you know? You don't have to be educated in the ways the world says. It's supposed to be, God is supposed to be accessible to everyone and anyone, no matter what. God is energy, God is in you, God is in everyone. That's why. If you didn't have God in you, you wouldn't even be able to be alive, really. The God energy, your spirit. Anyways, that's one thing that the AI doesn't have. There's all these movies about AI, and I've watched a lot of the Megan. I watched the new one, Companion. I just watched that last night. See, but the people were, uh, some people were fooled or whatever. They think, oh, it's a real person. But the people who had this companion, they knew it was a robot. But the robot wasn't aware that it was a robot. It didn't have awareness. It was just programmed. It was funny because throughout the movie, the guy kept saying, I was like arguing with the robot, and she was saying some really witty, intelligent things. Well, on his program, on his phone, you could up the dial to her intelligence, and you can lower it to zero intelligence. And she had got a hold of his phone, and it's all these movies are about like robots that go rogue, essentially. Like they seem to have this awareness of and start acting outside of their program in a way. But she had ramped up her intelligence to 100. She got his phone, and she was saying some really smart ass shit to him. And he was like, you know what? It's just a program. It's just a program. And he took his phone and he slid his phone all the way down to zero, you know? And it's interesting because every time he kept saying it's just a program, I kept thinking about us and how we are a program too. Like, we are programmed. But it's a good thing because it's not, yeah, sure, for a short time, maybe people outside you do have the ability to program you. But once you come into your awareness, you realize that you have the ability to run the program, that you have the ability to change the program. And then those things kind of start to lose power over you, but see, with a robot, it ain't gonna happen because they aren't God, because they don't have God energy, they don't have spirit inside of them, so they can't. This conversation here that I'm having with myself on the phone is really taking a turn. I didn't foresee that I was going to talk about this movie, but So yeah, with a robot, it might look real, but it won't feel real. Something will feel off because the spirit is missing. God is missing. You won't, like, where is the energetic vibration, you know? Anyways, you might be fooled for a minute, you know? Just like when you get these AI generated text messages. I just got one the other day, AI generated text message for a job. And you could tell a lot of its responses were like programmed, you know? And then there was no, like, the energy behind it was different. It didn't just seem like a scammer. It didn't seem like human energy. Anyways, I think part of me thinks that, see, there is no fear in love. And, you know, every time something new comes out, every time technology progresses, there's always fear that comes with it. I mean, you remember when computers are becoming more popular, when we were young, Y2K, you know, all this stuff. We panic and we get all fearful always of new things. But maybe instead of being more outwardly focused and afraid of the outside, you have to become more inwardly focused. So instead of leaning into fear, oh my God, the world's this, blah, 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 this and that, stop that. Just stop. Because that's not helping. That's not helping. You're just putting your energy and focus into shit, into a big pile of dung. Stop. And then retreat inwards. When you get into the perfect love within you and really solidify yourself in that, then you realize you don't have to be afraid. That's where the true peace is. That's where a true miracle is. When you're so connected to the oneness and God inside of you, that perfect love that casts out all fear, that's where it's at. It's not in the world doing this and doing that and being perfect and shit and not going forward with artificial intelligence. It's none of that. It's within you. That's the point. It's got to redirect you back into you. Because fine, what if artificial intelligence went away and they're like, yeah, this is too dangerous and we're just going to do away with all this. But then are you going to be happy then? No. You're going to find something else to fixate on that's fucked up in the world. It'll be an ongoing torment. That's why the Bible says fear brings torment, you know? Because fear does bring torment. So whatever you're fearful about, once that gets fixed, if you didn't fix the fear within you, there's going to be something else for you to fixate on and get fearful over and be tormented over. I mean, I go through it. I mean, everybody goes through it, you know, until you realize that, oh shit, I need to start changing this and redirecting this and turning this around and realizing that my contentment and happiness and peace come from within and not from without. And so I can't be coming to that place where we're unbothered, truly. So yeah. What else was I gonna say? Yeah, where I was gonna go initially before that was we connect ourselves energetically with people who are, you know, living in poverty or who are suffering. Excuse me. So we say to ourselves, oh, if it's not right for me to have this because they don't have it. So I shouldn't have it because they don't, right? But there's people that have things that you don't have. Why? Why is that fair? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not about that. It's just not about that. And you read over and over again that God or the universe or whatever doesn't give you things based off of your need. We still don't get it. You know what I'm saying? We don't get it. We think that God gives based off desperation and people crying out or something like that. It's just like, maybe it's not even God giving. It's us giving. It's us deciding to receive. It's us deciding to shift our mental space and receive. That's the thing. It's not like God saying, oh, well, you're a beggar and you're living in the garbage dump, so I'm not going to give you anything. Like, it's not like that. It's us. The power is within us. It's not God outside of us saying, yeah, you can have, but you can't have. You know what I mean? Right? He who has will have more. And if you don't have, what you have will be taken away. It's your mentality. So yeah, connect. So I thought to myself, well, why am I connecting myself with people that don't have? Like, it's not to be offensive, but it's like it's their problem. Of course, we can give to people. Excuse me, giving is a part of the kingdom. Giving is a part of prosperity. Giving is joyful, it's fun, it's wonderful. But we're not giving because other people are desperate or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just because they have power within them. See, we have to change how we see people. Like, that person you feel bad for, whatever, like, yeah, help them, but they also have power within them. Do you understand? They're God too. They have just as much of God in them as you have in you. So, that's why, the Bible talks about preaching the gospel, because people need to hear the word. They need to hear it over and over again, that they may be like awakened to the power within them. That's the real key or whatever. So, we can connect ourselves with people who do have, like, oh, I can have that because they have it. Like, just do the opposite. Oh yeah, I can have that. They have that. Get yourself out of thinking that you need to suffer because other people are suffering. Because you suffering doesn't help people that are suffering. So that's the thing. We have to be in a good mental space for ourselves. It's just like, yes, we need to think of ourselves. We need to think of ourselves and get our minds out of other people's lives and put our mind and energy back into our own body and in our own lives. That's probably one issue growing up with narcissism does to us. Like, we are busy putting ourselves in other people's bodies and other people's minds. That's not, those people are supposed to occupy their own mind and body, and you're supposed to occupy your own mind and body, and I'm supposed to occupy my own mind and body. So that's why when I first started learning, I realized that I was splaying out my energy, and when I would be in the store, I would be doing that, and I would have to tell myself, reel it in, Sheena, reel it in. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Start making assumptions about people you see, their lives, or feeling bad for people. It's just like, what are you doing? You gotta get your focus off other people and put your focus on yourself. So, and people who think that you should change your focus or be focused on them, they need to be focused on them, on themselves. And people who want to tell you where to put your focus, like, you should put your focus on the news, you should put your focus on that, look here, look there, look here. No. Yeah. You do have to protect your energy. You have to protect your focus. You have to protect where you're looking, what you're looking at. Don't let people tell you what you need to be focusing on. Fuck that shit. Hey, if you want to focus on the news, if you want to put your awareness, your powerful awareness on this, that, and the other thing, on Tom, Dick, and Harry and Donald Trump, then you do it. By all means, you take your precious mental energy and focus and put it where you want. Don't tell other people where they should be putting their focus, because there's billions of things out there, billions of negative and positive things, whatever, billions of things for us to put our focus into. You're in charge of where you put your focus. Don't let other people push you around and tell you where to put your fucking focus. Put it on you and your life and what you decide. Because people are bossy like that, you know? Tell you that you should be watching the news and you should be paying attention. Excuse me? Do you understand that you're telling me where to put my God focus, like my creative energy? You're telling me to put it onto that? Are you kidding me right now? Like, that's some nerve. Everybody needs to mind their business and focus on what they want to focus on, unless otherwise asked, you know? So yeah. And when you start thinking about, I was thinking about, you know, like when we're kids and people say, say you're like a little kid, you're like 9, 10, 11, 12 years old, and you bring this idea to your mom or dad, and you're like, I'm going to do this, like, I'm going to be rich, or I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and what were you met with? Sarcasm? Criticism? Like, oh yeah, sure, when hell freezes over, or when pigs fly, or yeah, sure, let me know when you do that, ha ha ha. That could be a programmed response for you in your own mind when you start thinking of things you want to do that are outside of where your current reality is. That voice or that sarcasm might come up, like, yeah, right. Yeah, right, girl. Keep dreaming, girl. Keep dreaming. That's them. That's their program, right? It's just a program. It's just a program. It's just a program. You just say that to yourself in your head, oh, that's just a program. That was their program, you know? That was their programmed response to me as a kid. And they shot down things you were excited about. You came to them excited and hopeful and joyful, and they just swatted that shit down. Fuck them, right? They couldn't see outside of their own pessimism to be like, damn, they couldn't even hold it back, right? Because sometimes maybe you do want to say that to a kid or something, like, but you have the awareness to be like, you know what? Even though I feel doubtful that would ever happen, why would I give that doubt or transfer that doubtful energy to my kid? Because the key in this world is believing. All these successful people and successful sports guys, whatever, I bet you they practice, what do they practice? Believing. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. That's what everyone says, right? That's the first thing to be fucking shot down in you as a child, right? Steal your faith. Steal your belief in yourself. You can't do that. Some people, when they're kids, get laughed at and say, ha ha ha, yeah, right, you can't do that. And that ignites them to do it further, like this rebelliousness, like, oh yeah, you think you can't do it? Fuck. You know, it depends on what kind of person you are. So, or some kids believe it, and they're like, damn, my parent don't believe in me, like, oh, I guess it's not possible, let's give up or whatever. But, you know, as a parent, you, like, I've I've realized, oh yeah, I feel doubtful, but that's my fucking problem. That's my issue, right? Because their path is not my path. What they're going to do with their life isn't what I did with my life. It's different. So I need to put my doubts, keep them to myself, and put belief into them. Yeah, wow. That sounds great. Let's look into that more. Whatever. How would that pan out? Or sometimes I'm honest, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel this way about it, but that's because of me. See? You tell them that's because of me. But that's because your journey is different. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Don't let that deter you in adulthood. Because in adulthood, you have a chance to realize that, oh, yeah, that was just that person. And don't mentally argue with them. They're not there anymore. They're gone. Let the dead bury the dead. Leave them in the graveyard, in the past, and move on mentally. All right. Have a great Monday.